my channel Starwire Daily. Please share and subscribe and press the bell icon for new updates. It's a quiet Tuesday evening, and Love Island fans are scrolling through their social feeds, expecting nothing more than the usual post-workout selfies and sponsored content. But then, something feels off. Something's missing. And within hours, that nagging feeling explodes into the kind of reality TV drama that sends shockwaves through the entire fan base. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Starwire Daily, where we dive deep into the stories that matter most to you. I'm your host, and today, we're talking about a love story that might just be over before it ever truly began. Iris Kendall and Pepe Garcia. Two names that became synonymous with passion, chemistry, and that electric kind of connection that made us all believe in love again during Love Island USA Season 6. But if the whispers circulating through social media are true, their fairy tale romance might be crashing down just weeks before the highly anticipated Season 7 reunion special. Because here's what happened, and trust me, you're going to want to hear every single detail of this story. Let's rewind to where it all began, shall we? Love Island USA Season 6 was already making headlines for its explosive drama and unexpected connections. But when Iris Kendall walked through those villa doors, everything changed. Picture a stunning 24-year-old marketing coordinator from Miami. Think sun-kissed skin, eyes that could stop traffic, and that confidence that only comes from someone who knows exactly what they want. Iris wasn't just another beautiful face in paradise. She was strategic, she was bold, and she had this magnetic energy that drew people in like moths to a flame. From day one, the other Islanders knew she was going to be trouble. The best kind of trouble. But then came Pepe Garcia. Oh, Pepe, a 26-year-old personal trainer from Los Angeles with the kind of charm that could melt steel and a smile that practically jumped off our television screens. When these two locked eyes for the first time during that infamous Week 3 recoupling ceremony, you could literally feel the electricity through your TV. And can we talk about that first conversation by the fire pit? The cameras caught every stolen glance, every nervous laugh, every moment when they thought no one was watching but forgot about the 24/7 surveillance. Iris later confided to the girls that she felt something she'd never experienced before. That butterflies in your stomach, can't eat, can't sleep kind of connection that reality TV dreams are made of. Pepe, meanwhile, was completely smitten. In his confessional interviews, he kept saying how Iris was different from anyone he'd ever met. She challenges me, he said, running his hands through his hair the way he always did when he was nervous. But in the best way possible. For weeks, we watched their love story unfold like something out of a romance novel. Remember their first date? That helicopter ride over the Fiji coastline where Pepe surprised Iris with her favorite flowers. White peonies, somehow arranged through production despite being literally thousands of miles from civilization. The way she teared up when she saw them. That wasn't acting, that was pure raw emotion. Or what about that night during Week 5, when Iris had that massive argument with fellow Islander Jessica about loyalty and trust? Pepe didn't just comfort her afterward. He defended her to the entire villa, telling anyone who would listen that Iris had integrity, that she was real in a world full of people playing games. That's my girl, he said during a boys' chat that became legendary among fans. And I'd rather have her fierce loyalty than anyone's fake sweetness. By the time they reached the final week, Iris and Pepe weren't just couple goals. They were the couple. Fan polls showed them leading by massive margins. Social media was flooded with ship names, fan art, and countless comments from viewers saying they restored faith in reality TV love. They finished second overall, losing only to fan favorites Marcus and Zoe by a razor-thin margin that honestly could have gone either way. But nobody cared about placements because Iris and Pepe had something more valuable than the $50,000 prize money. They had each other, and they had a love story that felt authentic in a world where everything is usually scripted. But here's where our fairy tale starts to crack. The post-villa transition is notoriously difficult for Love Island couples. Suddenly, you're not living in paradise anymore. You're dealing with real-world pressures, career demands, and the harsh reality that your relationship was built in an artificial environment with cameras watching your every move. Some couples thrive during this transition. Others discover that what felt like true love under the Fiji sun doesn't translate to Tuesday morning traffic in Los Angeles. For the first month after filming Wrapped, Iris and Pepe seemed to be beating the odds. Their Instagram stories were filled with cozy date nights, weekend getaways to Napa Valley, and those candid moments that made fans swoon. Iris would post pictures of Pepe cooking breakfast in her Miami apartment. Apparently, the man makes incredible French toast, while Pepe's feed was full of sunset photos with Iris silhouetted against the ocean. They even did several joint interviews, including that memorable appearance on the Reality Tea-Spill podcast, where they talked about their plans to move in together and potentially start a business, combining Iris's marketing expertise with Pepe's fitness background. "We're not just lovers," Iris said during that interview, her hand intertwined with Pepe's. "We're best friends, we're business partners, we're each other's biggest supporters. This is real life now, not just reality TV." Pepe nodded along, adding, "The cameras are off, the producers are gone, and we're still choosing each other every single day." That tells you everything you need to know. But then, something shifted. It started with the little things. The kind of details that only the most dedicated fans notice. Iris's Instagram stories, which used to feature Pepe multiple times per week, suddenly went quiet. No more morning coffee shots with 2 mugs. No more "my man is cooking again" posts. No more couples workout videos that used to drive their followers absolutely wild. Pepe's social media became similarly sanitized. Those sunset photos? Now they were solo shots. The gym content that used to include Iris cheering him on from the sidelines? Suddenly it was just him, alone, pushing iron with intensity that felt almost angry. But here's what really got people talking. 2 weeks ago, eagle-eyed fans noticed something that sent shockwaves through the Love Island community. Iris Kendall, who had never unfollowed anyone from the show, not even the Islanders she'd had dramatic confrontations with, quietly unfollowed Pepe Garcia across all social media platforms. Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, even LinkedIn, which honestly just shows how thorough this digital cleanse was. But wait, it gets worse. Within 24 hours, Pepe had reciprocated. Gone were the years' worth of couple photos, the tagged locations, the subtle digital breadcrumbs that modern relationships leave behind. It was like someone had taken an eraser to their entire romantic history. And then the theories started flying. Was it a publicity stunt ahead of the Season 7 reunion? Was someone cheating? Did career pressures tear them apart? Was there family drama we didn't know about? The Love Island Reddit community went into full detective mode, analyzing everything from Instagram story timestamps to who is still following whom in their respective friend groups. But here's what makes this situation so heartbreaking and so confusing. Neither Iris nor Pepe has said a single word publicly about what's happening. No official statements, no cryptic social media posts. No, we're focusing on ourselves right now, PR speak that we've come to expect from reality TV breakups. Just silence. And that silence is deafening because these are 2 people who built their entire relationship in the public eye. They shared their first kiss with millions of viewers. They cried together, laughed together, fought, and made up with an audience watching their every move. They invited us into their love story, made us investors in their happiness. So when that story suddenly goes dark without explanation, it leaves fans, and frankly, all of us who cover this world, feeling like we're missing crucial pages from a book we've been reading together for months. Now, let's talk about what we do know, because the clues are there if you know where to look. 3 weeks ago, Iris was spotted at a trendy West Hollywood restaurant. You know the type where celebrities go to see and be seen, having what appeared to be a very intense conversation with her best friend and fellow Love Island alum, Sarah Chun from Season 4. According to sources who were there, Iris looked upset. Not angry upset, but sad upset. The kind of upset that comes from disappointment rather than betrayal. Sarah, who's never been one to shy away from defending her friends on social media, posted a cryptic Instagram story that same night. It was just a simple black background with white text that read, "Sometimes people show you who they really are when the cameras stop rolling. Trust the process." Meanwhile, Pepe was conspicuously absent from his usual haunts. The Beverly Hills gym where he's been training celebrity clients? His regular trainer said he hadn't been seen in over 2 weeks. The juice bar where he does sponsored content twice a month? Radio silence. But here's where it gets interesting and potentially more complicated. A source close to production. And yes, we always have to take these unnamed sources with a grain of salt. But this person has been reliable in the past, suggested that the issues between Iris and Pepe might be connected to the upcoming season 7 reunion special. See, reunion specials are notorious for dredging up drama that couples thought they'd move past. Producers have access to hours of footage that never made it to air, and they're not above using that material to create compelling television, even if it means reopening old wounds. According to our source, there might be some behind-the-scenes footage from the villa, conversations or situations that neither Iris nor Pepe realized were being recorded, that could potentially be embarrassing or damaging to their relationship. Now, I want to be very clear here. This is speculation based on industry patterns rather than confirmed information. But it would explain the timing. Why would a couple that seemed so solid suddenly implode just weeks before a major public appearance? Unless they knew something was coming that might change everything. But you know what? Even if that theory is correct, it raises more questions than it answers. Because if Iris and Pepe's love was as real and as strong as it appeared to be, wouldn't they face whatever challenges came their way together? Wouldn't they circle the wagons and support each other through any potential embarrassment or drama? That's what made their connection so special in the first place. When Jessica was spreading rumors about Iris during week 4, Pepe didn't distance himself to protect his own game. He stood by her side and faced the drama head-on. When Pepe had that heated argument with Marcus about respect and boundaries, Iris didn't try to smooth things over to keep the peace. She backed her man completely. So what changed? What could possibly be so significant that it would cause two people who fought for each other on national television to suddenly cut all communication? There's another theory circulating, and this one hits closer to home for anyone who's ever tried to maintain a long-distance relationship in the social media age. Iris is based in Miami, where she's been building her marketing consultancy and working with several high-profile lifestyle brands. Pepe is in Los Angeles, training celebrities and developing his fitness empire. That's a 2,700-mile distance that requires constant effort, communication, and compromise to overcome. For a while, they were making it work. Weekend visits, FaceTime dates, coordinated social media posts that showed them supporting each other despite the distance. But maintaining that level of connection requires both people to be equally invested, equally committed to doing the work. Maybe the unfollowing wasn't about drama or betrayal. Maybe it was about two people who realized that what they had in paradise couldn't survive the realities of geography, career pressures, and the simple fact that they're both young, ambitious people trying to build their individual brands in a competitive industry. That would actually be the most mature, adult reason for their split, if that's what this is. Sometimes love isn't enough if the timing and circumstances aren't right. But here's what's really driving fans crazy. The timing of the Season 7 reunion. The special is scheduled to film in just 2 weeks. And according to production sources, Iris and Pepe are both contractually obligated to appear, which means that whatever is happening between them, they're going to have to face each other and face the public questions about their relationship status very, very soon. Can you imagine how awkward that's going to be? Sitting on that iconic Love Island reunion couch with Andy Cohen or whoever is hosting, asking them directly about their relationship, their future plans, their feelings for each other, all while they haven't spoken privately in weeks. Either it's going to be the most uncomfortable television in reality TV history, or it's going to be the most dramatic reunion in Love Island USA history. Honestly, I'm not sure which would be worse for Iris and Pepe personally, but as someone who covers this industry, I'll admit I'm fascinated to see how it plays out. Because here's the thing about reality TV reunions. They have a way of forcing clarity. When you're sitting under those bright lights with millions of people watching, you can't hide behind social media silence or carefully curated public statements. You have to answer direct questions about your feelings, your choices, your regrets. Maybe that's exactly what Iris and Pepe need right now. Maybe they've been avoiding the hard conversations because it's easier to unfollow someone than to have a real discussion about why your relationship isn't working. Maybe they need that public forum to finally be honest with each other and with themselves about what went wrong. Or maybe they know something we don't know, and they're preparing for a public reckoning that's going to change how we view their entire Love Island journey. There's one more piece of this puzzle that I haven't mentioned yet, and it might be the most telling detail of all. Yesterday, Iris posted her first Instagram story in over a week. It wasn't a photo, it was just text over a soft pink background. 5 simple words. Trust your intuition. Always trust. Now, that could mean anything. It could be motivational content for her brand partnerships. It could be advice she's giving herself about a business decision. It could be completely unrelated to Pepe and their situation. But the timing feels significant, because trusting your intuition often means making hard choices that other people might not understand. It means walking away from situations that look perfect from the outside, but feel wrong on the inside. And maybe that's what happened here. Maybe Iris trusted her intuition and realized that what she had with Pepe, while beautiful and passionate and made for incredible television, wasn't built to last in the real world. Or maybe Pepe came to a similar realization. Maybe he looked at their relationship honestly and decided that they wanted different things, were heading in different directions, and it was kinder to end things cleanly rather than let them deteriorate slowly over months of forced long-distance attempts. If that's the case, then the unfollowing wasn't petty or dramatic. It was merciful. It was 2 people who cared about each other enough to make a clean break instead of putting their private business on public display. But here's what we'll all be watching for in the coming weeks. First, the Season 7 reunion filming. If Iris and Pepe can sit on that couch together and maintain their dignity while addressing their relationship status, it'll tell us everything we need to know about their maturity and their respect for each other, regardless of their romantic status. Second, their individual social media presence. Are they going to start posting content that gives us clues about their emotional state? Are they going to soft launch new relationships? Are they going to address the situation directly? And third, and this might be most important, are they going to continue supporting each other's professional endeavors, even if their personal relationship is over? Because that would be the ultimate test of whether their connection was real or just good television. You know, at the end of the day, Iris Kendall and Pepe Garcia are real people with real feelings navigating an incredibly complicated situation under public scrutiny. They didn't just fall in love on television. They fell in love on television and then had to figure out how to maintain that connection while building individual careers, managing long-distance logistics, and dealing with the pressure that comes from having thousands of strangers invested in your happiness. That's not easy. It's actually incredibly difficult, and most people would struggle with those circumstances regardless of how strong their initial connection was. So while we're all curious about what happened, while we're analyzing social media clues and speculating about reunion drama, let's remember that these are 2 people who gave us genuine moments of joy and connection when we needed them most. Whether they end up back together, whether they remain friends, or whether they go their separate ways completely, they've already given us something valuable. They showed us what it looks like when 2 people choose each other honestly and openly. They reminded us that real connection is possible, even in the most artificial circumstances. And maybe that's enough. Maybe that's the real love story. Not the happily ever after, but the genuine human connection that happened when 2 people decided to be vulnerable with each other and with all of us watching. The Season 7 reunion will air in 6 weeks, and we'll finally get some answers about what's really been happening between Iris and Pepe. Until then, we'll be watching their social media, following the clues, and hoping that whatever the truth is, both of them find the happiness they deserve. Because at the end of the day, that's what we're all really rooting for, isn't it? Not necessarily for them to be together, but for them to be happy. And sometimes those are 2 very different things. What do you think happened between Iris and Pepe? Are you team, they'll work it out? Or team, sometimes love isn't enough? Drop your theories in the comments below. I read every single one, and some of you have insights that completely change how I think about these situations. And if you want to stay updated on all the latest Love Island drama, reunion spoilers, and reality TV news that matters, make sure you're subscribed with notifications turned on. We're your inside source for everything happening in the villa and beyond. Thanks for joining me today for another deep dive into the stories that keep us all talking. I'm your host, and this has been Starwire Daily. Until next time, keep watching, keep speculating, and keep believing in love, even when it gets complicated.